Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about how to feel more in control around food. One of the biggest challenges there is when it comes to losing weight, obviously, people feel out of control, right? The food just calls to them and they can't stop themselves from eating it. So how do you stay more in control? It's easier than you think, although it does take practice. So it's not about having lots of willpower and just don't eat it. Just don't eat it. Right? Is that what a diet would tell you? Just don't eat the food. There you go. There's your control. Who needs control? Just don't eat it. Yeah. Okay. That's not going to work, right? Because your ability to not eat the food is going to directly be impacted by the state that you're in. How are you feeling in that moment when you're around food? Well, I can tell you if you're tired, frustrated, annoyed, pissed off, feeling hopeless, yeah, your control is going to disappear. So the state you're in has a huge impact on the decision you're going to make. And that's just the truth of it. Yes, sometimes you can use your willpower and just say no to it no matter what. You can do that for a little while. I wouldn't argue that. But long term, how do you feel more in control of food? It's a practice. And it's a practice that involves being more calm, centered, peaceful while you're around the food. And that takes practice because when you're more calm, centered, and peaceful, you think differently. So when you're able to feel calm and peaceful and centered and you're around the food, it's easier for you to realize, yeah, the food tastes good, but I got a bigger goal I'm after. I'm after something bigger than just the momentary pleasure of the food. And when you stay calm and grounded and relaxed, you're way more connected to all of your resources and abilities. You think more clearly. You have more perspective. You see the bigger picture. And so it's this practice of being relaxed and calm and centered around food that is one of the main things that's going to allow you to stay in control when you're around it. It's not a willpower thing. You're better off using the willpower to get yourself to practice relaxing and calming down. And then when you get around the food, practicing being more relaxed and calm when you're around it. That's a better investment of your willpower than trying to just stop yourself from eating it. That doesn't tend to work very well for very long. So the secret to being more in control around food is to be more relaxed, calm, and grounded. And if you experiment with this and see if it works for you, I think you're going to find that it unlocks and unleashes a whole bunch of ability that you have within yourself that you've not been tapping into, because when you get around food, you probably go into a stressed, anxious, tense state. And that is bringing you down a completely different path that usually leads to you eating the food or a lot of it. And so to be more relaxed and calm and grounded is the secret to staying in control and then ultimately getting, to getting the weight loss results you're looking for. We want to do it through those feelings. So hope this helps you out. If you want to be more relaxed, calm, and in control, make sure you go to the link in my bio, click that link, get the hypnosis session I give you. Watch some video I made for you, read the emails I send you. They're all going to support you in being more calm, grounded, in control so that you can master your weight long term. So I hope that helps you out. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. Any weight loss questions are welcome. And they could be about anything. They could be about eating. They could be about your moods. They could be about your behaviors, your weight loss that's stalled out. Even be about that. Because it's all, it's all legitimate. Weight loss comes down to so much stuff that really isn't about the nuts and bolts of weight loss, meaning that pretty much every diet you look at is going to tell you what to eat philosophically. Oh, look at this, Mario. What's up, Mario? How's it going? So Mario says, I've been eating so much less ever since I got into kickboxing. Hey, Mario says the key is to get hobbies. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. One of the lifestyle habits that we teach in the program. Yes, hobbies are really, really important. And I think it's very interesting if you compare like working out at a gym versus having a hobby, I feel like the hobby is going to serve you way better because when you go to the gym, it's like you're bored out of your mind and you're just doing it to look different. And, a lot of times people go to the gym and it's like they're just literally, it's all about how distracted can you make yourself, right? It's just, it's crazy. It's so boring for most people to go and work out. And so what ends up happening is it's all about just burning calories. But when you start doing a hobby, it becomes interesting and you're enjoying it while you're there, while you're not doing your thinking about it. And it has a different purpose. Now, you may do kickboxing to help you lose weight and look the way you want to look, but it's not the only reason. Whereas with working out, it's like literally the only reason you're doing it is so you can look better, look different. And so there's a huge vacuum there, though, because it's so boring. It's so boring just working out. Come on, give me a break. Unless you're a person who really loves it, then knock yourself out and stick with it. But if you're a person who is really bored of working out, doesn't really enjoy it for very long, like myself, hobbies are the secret, because what you'll find is that it's not even just about the calories burned. It's about giving your mind something to actually focus on that is interesting, where you're curious, you're excited, you're fascinated, you're getting better, you're in a flow state. There's so many things about having hobbies that support your weight loss beyond the calorie piece. And this does not get talked about enough because most of the time, one of the main reasons people struggle with their eating is because they're bored. They're bored out of their minds. And it's not even just being bored. It's just the fact that if you don't have natural ways to influence your emotions in your life, there's a huge vacuum there. And most likely you're going to fill that vacuum with food. So again, hobbies really impact you on a deeper level where you start to feel a lot of genuine emotions, improvement, excitement, connection, something to look forward to, something to learn, something to evolve at, something to get better with. There's just so many pieces of it. So yeah, Mario, I'm happy for you. And you're right. Yes, the key is to get hobbies. Absolutely. I recommend that all the time. That actually, those are the two new lifestyle habits that have been added to the updated program are hobbies and learning. So in addition to the other 8 habits, we've added learning and then hobbies. Hobbies being, they're both really powerful. Learning is really important too. I mean, talking about programming yourself, the more you understand about food, your body, your weight, your mindset, your lifestyle, the more you understand it, the better you'll do. Because weight mastery is absolutely a learning process. I try to say this every day, but I hear it all the time from dieters telling me like, well, I know what to do, Jim. I just need to get myself to do it. And to that, I say, no, you don't. You don't know what to do. Mario's a good example of that. Mario's been around for a little while here. And so a year ago, Mario was losing weight. And I know what I got to do, Jim. But now you know a lot more because now you have a hobby fall into your lap and you're realizing just how helpful it is, how powerful it is. So yes, if you're struggling with your weight, boy, do I wish that you could realize it's because you don't know how to lose weight and live at your goal weight. If I could magically put an idea into dieters' minds, it'd be that no, you don't know what to do. You think you know what to do, but you do not. And if you just open yourself up to that, then you could learn what to do. And then everything changes and you get better results. You'd be happier and everything's better. But yes, dieters do tend to think that they know what to do. So we were talking about cognitive biases yesterday in the Thrive program, which we have a live workshop training every week. And we talked about cognitive biases yesterday. And one of the cognitive biases was confirmation bias. So you dieters all have a diet confirmation bias that you believe and know that dieting is the way that you have to lose weight. And so you're really tuned into only paying attention to diet-based approaches to weight loss. And that is preventing you from seeing outside of that paradigm, which is why I get on here every day to try and expand your awareness, to let you know that weight loss can be fun and enjoyable, that you can live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on near autopilot, things you never think about, things you didn't realize or never knew. So I get on every day to try and remind you of all that. And that's the goal. Because without knowing that stuff, you live in a perpetual reality of misery to some degree, literal misery. I know that most people that want to lose weight, at least the people that would be here listening to this, are overthinkers. And your weight and inability to change your weight to what you want it to be is one of the main sources of stress and pain in your life. I know it's a core cause of negative mindset, of negative things you say to yourself and think and feel. And I get on here because there's no need for that. The diets are a trap. They're there to trap you, not to help you. And to that point, we've had diets for a long time. There's not one diet that works long term to help you lose weight. The best we would get is maybe Weight Watchers. This idea is like, I don't know. I saw a comment yesterday on a video, and I was talking about how stupid diets are. And they go, well, sometimes the diets work when I can follow them. I said, did you watch the fucking video? The video just said the diets work when you follow them. They don't work long term because you hate doing them. So the whole idea was that you can't judge a diet just based on the fact that it helped you lose weight at one point. You have to judge the diet based on how long you can stick with it and keep the weight off for. That's the big shift in thinking. And most people don't do that because they're just, again, you've been your whole life just focused and obsessed on losing weight. But once you shift that focus over to living at your goal weight, it changes everything. And the best thing it changes is that it's a way easier to lose weight on a weight mastery path than it is to lose weight on a diet path. So where are you at, Mario? He's started kickboxing and he's eating less. So you're losing weight. That's a good point too. That's why a state to chase and really focus on is a flow state. So a flow state is basically when you have the ability to do something up to this level and you do it right over there. So it feels like a challenge, but you feel like you're improving, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. That's the sweet spot. So that's another reason why a flow state is so valuable for your weight loss, because it really, really fulfills you emotionally. It's crazy. I say this all the time for my own personal journey, learning martial arts, yoga, meditation, playing guitar, I play basketball, I like to walk, train my dog, my work's a big one. Obviously my family. And it's like, I have things that I love doing. So my brain is obsessed with all these things that I love doing that genuinely make me feel good. And I just can't tell you how important that is, because we live in a culture. God damn it. If I didn't read this, I tell you, I'm reading this book, Advertising in the American Age. It's necessary, but depressing. It's depressing. But, one of the things, what'd they say? What's the phrase today? They were talking about how ad people were kind of sensitive. It wasn't a well-esteemed career back in the day. And so they were sensitive to like being called ad men. They wanted to be called advertising men. And then at one point they tried changing it to be called consumption engineers. And I sure wrote that down because that's really what they are. And that is what we've been exposed to for 100 years. The likes no one on the planet's ever been exposed to. We live in a culture that is constantly engineering us to consume. And one of my conspiracy theories is that one of the things that connects us more than anything else in the culture is that we're all consumers. So it doesn't matter if you're left, right, religious, not religious, man, woman, anything else. You're all consumers. And I think the way that you generate consumption at a really high level is you make people feel unsatisfied. And so I think we live in a culture that's never allowed us and or trained us how to fulfill ourselves emotionally in a genuine, deep way. And I think that that's the core cause of a lot of weight issues because I think we're trying to fill those feelings up with food because that's the way we've been trained to deal with our emotions, either to feel them or to run away from them. And so, yeah. So when you do a hobby, it really does in a very powerful way go right to the core of what you feel regularly. And when you're doing something that genuinely is interesting to you and you're improving at, it just fills your brain up because you're like it. It does a lot of the heavy lifting. And I know a lot of people don't put those things together, but I think that I think it's true. What's up, Katie? As Wise Man once said, we can't get no satisfaction. Yes, absolutely. That's so true, I would say. But you can. That's the other piece. That's the funny piece of all of it is that I think anyways, is that it's wicked easy. It's wicked easy to feel a lot better instantly. It's not even hard. But we've never been trained that because we're constantly our entire lives been hit with just literally hundreds of millions of marketing messages in our lives. And they're all basically telling us the same thing that, you need this product in order to feel what you want to feel. And you don't, you know. And I love buying shit as much as the next person, but it's again, when you're doing things that really you like to do, and again, it's different for each person, but it is the hobbies, it's the things I do day in and day out that I love. And I play guitar too, and it's not about me performing. That's the other piece too, that even the hobbies have been fucked up in this culture, that it's like we can't just enjoy something because we're always comparing ourselves to the best that ever did it. And we always feel like shit. We always feel like failures, you know? And if you can get past that, what happens is the hobbies become a huge source of intrinsic satisfaction. So for me, playing the guitar, it's really about just getting better, feeling my fingers moving cooler, making cooler sounds. Holy shit, that's neat, you know? And it's like that with a lot of different things. But it took work to even get to that part. But it helps. It supports everything else. What's up, Amy? Amy says, I love this. I love hobbies and enjoy several, but often don't make time for them. Yes, I get it. That's normal. You're in a good spot, though. At least you have hobbies. For real. And I'm not judging anyone. I would say I was this way. My hobbies were TV and food and acting like a crazy person. But as I filled my life up with hobbies, it just makes everything else easier because you're getting that. I talk a lot about the concept of we all know about nutritional malnourishment, but I don't think we really consider the concept of emotional malnourishment. And I think a lot of people walking around emotionally malnourished, not getting their core emotional needs met. No, needs met. And when you do, it's transformative. And to be honest, it even goes beyond the weight loss thing because again, you could be a boring motherfucker and lose weight. And there you go. You get to your goal weight and you're still bored and fucking miserable. The weight doesn't automatically make you happy and everything's great. Kelly says, as long as I don't make trying to lose weight my hobby. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I never say it in that way, but mastering my weight is absolutely a hobby. It's one of my top hobbies is mastering my weight. So I don't know. Yeah, there's a difference between weight loss and weight mastery. Weight mastery I can do forever, but I am constantly tweaking, constantly tweaking and paying attention to all the components that lead to my weight mastery. I was literally thinking this today because I will tell you what happens when you do this stuff for a long time is you have ups and downs. That's what happens. And so I've had a down with yoga for like 5 years because my shoulder was screwed up. And now I'm coming out of it and I'm getting stronger and I'm moving more resistance training wise. I'm doing more yoga because I'm more comfortable. I'm getting my flexibility back to a higher level, which allows me to sit cross-legged more, which fills me with tremendous peace and makes my body feel a lot better and open. And all of those things I was thinking today, because I'm feeling on the upswing of things tremendously. And I can feel those things moving right into the spaces where the cookies had been recently. I've been struggling with cookies a little bit last month. And I make space to move the cookies out, and this other stuff fills in those spaces, if that makes sense. But if I didn't have those things, they'd be empty spaces, and the cookies would be a lot harder to leave behind. But anyways, weight mastery and personal development are literally two of my top hobbies. So I'll push back a little bit on that. So I don't know if that's a bad thing, which is absolutely what I've done the last few years, but I'm changing that now. Yeah. I love it as a hobby. I've been obsessed. Now, again, you got to frame things in the right way, because it's how weight loss, that seems not good. And maybe it isn't, because you can only do so much with weight loss. But weight mastery, how healthy can you be? How could your health not be a hobby? How could nourishing your body at the highest level not be a hobby? How could feeling amazing not be a hobby? I don't get it. I mean, I know I'm an outlier. I'm so obsessed with this shit that I talk about this literally all day and night. And I'm on here every day talking about it. I mean, I'm obsessed with it. But why the fuck wouldn't you be? Your entire quality of life is dependent on this. Don't tell me it's not. And it's not about what you look like. So I don't give a fuck what your weight is because of how you look. I care about your weight because it's basically an indicator that you probably don't feel that great. Just to be honest, I'm not saying this is for everyone. So if you're not this person, just ignore what I'm saying. But I would say that for the vast majority of people, your weight is a real clear reflection of how you're eating and living your life. And if you're 50, 60, 100 pounds overweight, I don't care about what you look like. But I would say that on the other side, it's probably reflective that you're eating a lot of bullshit food. You're overeating. You're probably not sleeping great. You're probably not hydrated. You're probably stressed. Maybe you're not moving as much as you want to. You're probably not nourishing your body at a high level. You're probably not working on your mind. So come on. You know what I mean? Like there's evidence of things. I'm not saying the evidence is always 100% accurate to what's going on. But what I am saying is that a lot of times the weight reflects a way of eating and a lifestyle. And if you're eating a lot of bullshit, processed food stuff, fast food stuff, junk food stuff, that's a core part of your diet. You're consistently overeating. You're consistently pummeling your body with sugar. You're dehydrated. Then you cannot be operating at your highest level. There's no way. I know, I've been there. And it's like living with an alcohol issue. It's like being in a chronic state of hangoverness. And you can't tell me that you're your happiest, most successful, productive self when you're in a constant state of a hangover. I don't believe it. And that's how I look at this process, which is why I get the results I get, because it's way more, my motivation's way higher than the dieter's motivation. But it's because I think of this in a much different way. This isn't just about the scale number. I don't give a fuck about the scale number. I care about how I feel each and every day. Yes, Kelly says yes. Personal development, not just weight loss. Here. Yes, personal development. Now, again, in programming yourself thin, weight mastery is taking your weight loss and wrapping in personal development. That's weight mastery. Because, again, you're not even going to stay motivated. I was talking about this today. You know, God, sometimes I hate this work. Because it's like when you know things that apparently fucking no one else knows. It's like it's like you feel like the one sane person in a land of craziness. And in some ways, it feels like a lonely place to be. And it is, to be completely honest. But one of the things I was talking about, is it going to go away? Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. Maybe it's best. Maybe it's for the best. Anyways, let's get some questions. Try to listen to me ramble anyways. He says, people often talk about retirement and wonder if they're going to be bored. I'm always shocked. Yeah, I am too, Amy. Agreed. I was having that conversation the other day. Absolutely. I'm never retiring. I retired when I was 26. I left my corporate-y official job. Fuck this. I bust balls for a couple of years working back at a restaurant and stuff, but I felt alive again. And yeah, so I have no desire to retire ever. I want to work until my last day on the planet. I love working. But yeah, God, I don't know. I don't want to get into this, but yes, agreed. Okay, so I haven't felt bored in years, but social media is not a hobby despite how much time I spend on it. Oh, fair enough, Katie. Yeah, the social media is definitely, that's for all of us to some degree, a foe, a challenge, self included. I know, it's just Jesus. Just scroll away. But you got to fight it. You got to fight it. How do you do it? I should do a lesson on that. You know what? Maybe I will do that. That'd be a good Thrive lesson, huh? I will do that because I do have some strategies I use. I could get better, but I could be a lot worse too. I know now the spectrum of how social media shows up for people. So I do have a lot of strategies I utilize that make it a lot better. But yeah, it's not a hobby. That's a good point, Katie. It's funny. Everyone's dealing with social media. How could you not? It's specially made for you, right? What's up, Vicky? Vicky says PYT's emphasis on mindset, lifestyle, and eating has helped me reframe managing my weight. That's great. That's what it's there for. Right? And says we focused on cooking, took some classes, got nice knives and cookware. Meal prep is one of our things we're working on. That's so great. I love that too. I love investing. I will tell you again, it's to some degree, it's referred to as the grand gesture. But if there's something you're serious about or kind of want to get into, going and investing in some nice equipment is a nice way to do that if you can do it. But like getting nice knives, I got a nice knife and it's like just having that thing, I want to use it. You know what I mean? Like it's so cool and nice that I'm looking for excuses to use it because I just like using it. So yeah, anytime you want to do something, I always think of that. I remember the first guitar I started on was such a hunk of shit. And I remember when I finally got what I thought then was a nice guitar, and that was an absolute game changer. And I remember the day I got it, I was like, geez, I wish I got this earlier. I would have played more, you know? So yeah, we got to balance things out with financial realities too. I get that. But if you can do it, if there's something you're interested in or you're kind of feeling inspired by, investing some money into it can be really helpful. Yeah, but you said you're so right about weight mastery, weight management, having its ups and downs. Yes, absolutely. And I was trying to express that because the diet industry is constantly trying to condition you to think of like weight loss as a finish line and like a finish line or doorway where you step into some fucking utopia where you never have to think about your weight ever again. It's such a disservice and it pisses me off. Yeah, it's constant. You know what I mean? It's just, that's what one of the things I was saying was, I was talking about like, imagine thinking about brushing your teeth and you're like, oh, you just brush your teeth till you're 25 and then you're all set, right? Like you can't even wrap your head around that concept, but you do the flip side with the weight. You just think it was like, I just need to get the weight off. And then what? 95 to 98% of people that lose weight on a diet put the weight back on. So what do you think is going to happen when you get to your goal weight? Not to sound negative, but you got to wake the fuck up. You're not going to keep it off dieting. Dieting's for losing weight quickly, not for keeping it off. You have no idea how to keep the weight off. No idea. Like there's nothing there. There's so nothing there that if I ask you for the Chinese word for ball, notice how there's nothing there? You have no clue what the Chinese word for ball is? Well, that's the same feeling you get when you think about how to maintain your weight. You have no idea. You've never learned how to maintain your weight. Program yourself then is the first thing we do. Day one. It's all about maintenance. Yeah, Ken says the best part is day prepping food. Yep, even making our own pasta and bread. Yeah, exactly. And that's the irony of it all is that, you're also worried about carbs. You should be worried about that you never make any of your own food. I don't have time, Jim. Bullshit. I have never seen anyone that doesn't have time. I've seen people that don't want to take time away from watching TV or screens. I've seen those people, but I have not found a person who doesn't have time. I'm not saying every day, but if you look at a week, I've never met a person who doesn't have time to do a little more cooking. I've met people that don't want to take time away from screens. So, important distinction. Like I said, come to recognize this is normal. Yes, weight mastery is an up and down process. It just is. I wish it wasn't. And he says it's exactly like alcoholism. I'm an alcoholic and in recovery, sober 11 years. Oh, great job, Amy. Congrats. Yeah, I think of I regularly, and I got to watch how I talk about this because I will quickly get banned by TikTok or restricted if I talk about substances too much. But I do think that thinking about your weight as basically it's a managed addiction to some degree, which makes it unique because most addictions are dealt with abstinence, but doesn't work that way here because you have to eat. So eating is more of a managed addiction, which is unique. And the truth is, you don't have any strategies to manage an addiction, most likely. So again, you're caught flailing between an all or nothing mindset where you're either doing everything perfect in an extreme way or you're doing nothing, not thinking about it. And most dieters flip flop between those two phases. And program yourself, then we're all or something. Thanks, Sweet Quest. Curveball, what's up? Curveball says it's isolating being so self-aware, but know that your work is so important. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It is isolating. I thankfully, I don't give a shit. I am a person that is very much enjoy my own company. My mom's that way too. So I can see, makes me feel good knowing that even as I get older, I love spending time by myself. I love being with certain other people too, but I really do enjoy being by myself. So I don't mind it being isolating, but it is isolating. It's isolating to some degree to be a healthy person in America. It's not, you're not the most popular person when you're the healthy one, just so you know. It is isolating. And then when you can see through a lot of bullshit, that's another isolating factor. It just is. But I appreciate you appreciating it. And it is nice. I mean, it's a nice, I love what I do because I get to connect this stuff with other people that are in a similar spot or of a similar, mindset. So it makes me happy. But yes, in real life, it is isolating to be self-aware, I would say. I think that's very true. Very true. Yeah, Big says, feel the same way about retirement. Yes, I could see how you could feel that way, Vicky. MJ says, Jim, my daily visit with you is changing my world. You're the best reframing my thoughts. Oh, well, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, and that's why, it's funny. I was talking last week because I was like, oh, they're going to ban TikTok. They're not. And I'm like, I don't know. Podcast, maybe it's time to change things up. But I love getting on here. And, I know, again, it really is a service. Like, again, it's my dharma in yoga. Oh, please stop, dog. This dog licking her feet. It's the grossest sound. That would be like if you had to get information out of me, just play a soundtrack of this dog licking and I would just spill the beans within 3 minutes, I think. It is just the grossest noise and I can't take it. But anyways, yeah, I like getting it on here and sharing this. And yeah, this is my dharma. This is my service in some degree, is to get out here and just support, get this information out, which I'm excited. I'm so excited. I know I've been talking about this lately, but the book is coming along. I know, hey, sometimes, you got to be able to compartmentalize in life. And sometimes, you can have a goal of what you want to do and you want to get it done, but you just got other things you got to do first. Other things got to kind of sort themselves out first. Now you got to balance that, right? You don't want to use that as a procrastination, but it's also true. So for me, things are kind of settling in such a profound way. And it's freeing me up to take huge steps forward with things that I've been wanting to do. And one of them is the book. And the other one is the, not the whole program. The hypnosis is the same. That's just the same that you get. But the work, the blueprints themselves that are in the program, it's very exciting. They're all laid out way more clear. So I'm super excited. And anyways, I don't know why I bring this shit up. I'm bringing up half-ass ideas. MJ's thanking me for helping her, and now I go off into outer space talking about blueprints. So anyways, you're welcome, MJ, and I'm happy to help you reframe things. That's what I love doing. Amy says, what I meant was when I retire, I have so many things to enjoy, hobbies that I will enjoy. Oh, I got you. Okay. Yeah. I feel the same way, but I feel retired now. Like I know that sounds like a strange thing. But I literally, I love my life. I love it. Like, will I want to pull back at some point? I mean, maybe, I don't know, but I don't know. I feel very lucky. I said this all the time. I'm one of the luckiest people you will ever see in your life. I'm literally just one of the luckiest people. And part of that is what I get to do all day. I love doing it. So, But yeah, if I was all of a sudden retired tomorrow, they say you can't do this anymore. I fill that shit up with all sorts of stuff too. So I get it. You're a Virgo, aren't you? Y'all love to work. I'm a Libra. So yeah, but I do love working. I love it. But what do you want? My family, I came out of, my grandfather came straight off the boat from Greece. And but madman, jumped off the boat, didn't even go through the normal thing. It's a great story. But anyways, and then my dad was a worker. And so it was just, when you come over as an immigrant, it really is that mindset. That is a true thing, I think. But so it's like it was the highest value, no doubt. The highest thing valued growing up, and still to some degree, it was just hardworking. Now I balance it a little bit. I work hard. My dad worked so hard, he died at 54 of a heart attack. I mean, he worked too hard, amongst other things. But I love working, but I like to think that I'm working more strategically. But who knows? Maybe I sit too much. Anyways, no, Libra. Biggie says, weight loss industry always acts as if soon as you reach your goal, you'll be done. Big, huge fallacy. Yes. The industry has everyone on a perpetual merry-go-round. Yes, absolutely, Vicky. You know that. Vicky's a pro. She's a Weight Watcher lifetime member. She can program herself in, learning the other side of things. And yeah, it's good. Hey, Vicky's on TikTok now. Well, that's good. I know. I am on Instagram too. Although Instagram sometimes, the irony of Instagram is that it's like the good microphone and the better camera, actually. But sometimes it freezes. So yeah, most people kind of come through TikTok. Yeah. He says gratitude's key. Yeah, gratitude's absolutely key. Gratitude's, again, one of the lifestyle habits we teach in the program. It's fundamental, I think, for a bunch of reasons. Queen Victoria says, I'm excited for clearer blueprints. I've struggled a bit with them. Your work is so important, Jim. Yeah, I get it, Victoria. Yeah, they're going to be way clearer. I know this has been bothering me in the past. It's a fundamental difference in this, that the blueprints, you're going to get them on their own. Like you will no longer have to watch all the trainings to make sense of the blueprints. You'll be able to go through the blueprints just by themselves. Now, obviously, I'm going to encourage you to go watch the trainings that coincide with them, that support them. Please stop. But yeah, you don't have to. And so that's going to allow you to fill the blueprints out a lot quicker and have them. And you're going to be able to use them like right out the gate actively. So that's been a big transformation, how the program's going to be laid out. So super exciting. And I got the first draft of it already done. So that in addition to a couple other things, everything's kind of coinciding right coming up right now. So it's exciting. Yeah, and you're all going to love them. Libra makes even more sense. I believe that. I don't know a lot about astrology, whatever. I don't know. And so, hey, listen, when someone doesn't know something about something, they have a tendency to be like, it's a bullshit. I can't say. I have no idea. But I will say what I do know about it. I find the Libra thing is, there's a couple of things that seem pretty insightful and on the mark, and they're helpful to notice. So, yeah. But yeah, what it was, Libra's a scales. So I will absolutely say that's part of my good and bad qualities. I can kind of see both sides and weigh a lot of things out. However, it also makes it really hard when it comes decision time, because I just keep weighing both sides. So there you go. But anyways, all right, I'm out of here. So if you're not in my world, make sure you go click the link in my bio, go get that hypnosis session, watch the video I made. If you're on my email list, then you're going to get the training that's going to be coming out, how to choose your goal weight. And that training is crucial. And not only it's not even a training, by the way. So how about this? This is what I'm talking about. Yes, there will be a training if you want to go deeper into that idea of how to choose your goal weight, but it's literally just going to be a survey. You just go through it. Take you 2 minutes and you'll be able to define your goal weight in a powerful way. And then I'm going to know how you define your goal weight, and I'm going to be able to send you messages through email that remind you of your goal weight and the feelings you want to have. That's going to be the cool part. So yes, that'll all be free. I'll be free. But you gotta go take a minute and go sign up for the hypnosis session. So All right. And I'm here every day, Monday through Friday. And yeah, usually around noon Eastern. So any questions you have, pop on here, ask them. And it's also a podcast. So if you don't catch it, want to listen to it, it's Program Yourself. Then it's on all the podcast platforms. You can go check it out. And that's that. So I see we got a vet, a fellow Libra. Good. And Vicky's an Aquarius. All right. I don't know anything about the signs other than I know Libras, obviously. And I know Scorpios, a little bit about them. So who cares? All right, everyone, have a super day and we'll talk soon. Bye.